King Solomon responded to a question when God said, ask me anything you want, and I will give it to you. He said, give me the ability to discern, to distinguish between right and wrong. And you know, most people can't do that. They can tell you what is right, what is wrong, but they can't tell you why. For example, with killing. Is killing wrong? Almost every Christian anyone I ever talked to, yes. And I'll say why. Not one person, even in the Right to Life movement, has ever given me an intelligent or biblically based answer of why it is wrong. They say, well, because it's illegal. No. Now hear me. Absolutely nothing is morally right or wrong because it's legal or illegal. All it means is it's illegal or it's legal. Legality has nothing to do with morality. It has to do with the law. And if you say, well, killing is wrong because it's illegal, then you'd have to say killing is right because it's legal. Look. The aborting of small babies is legal in the United States. Does that make it morally right? No. It just makes it legal. Look, apartheid in South Africa was legal. The Holocaust, the killing of 6 million Jewish people, was legal in Nazi Germany. Look, there were many years here in the United States where racism was legal. Does that make it right? You say, well, no. I said, that's right. Nothing is morally right or wrong because it's legal or illegal. Is lying wrong? As I've said before, when I meet somebody on the street, Christian or non-Christian, I say, do you believe lying is wrong? And I say, well, yes. And I'll say, why? And only one person in 5 years has given an intelligent answer. But you know, when I ask that question, one of the first 2 or 3 answers I get is this: because my parents taught me it was wrong. Or they'll say, because of family values. Now I want you to hear me clearly. Absolutely nothing is morally right or wrong because your parents taught you. That is ridiculous. You say, what? Well, my whole life I believed that. My parents taught me that. Then you were taught wrong. Let me show you why. If lying is wrong because your parents taught you is wrong, then you'd have to say lying is right because my parents taught me it is right. And there's a lot of parents that would teach that lying is wrong. There's a lot of people and organizations that would teach that lying is okay because they taught you. Absolutely nothing is morally right or wrong because your parents taught you. See, here would be the problem. You would disarm your child morally. Say your child says to another child, well, you know, lying is wrong. No, it's not. Lying is right. Well, and they say to your child, how do you know? Because my parents taught me it's wrong. And the other kid says, well, my parents taught me it was right. Your child has been totally disarmed morally. And if you say lying is wrong because my parents taught me, you can almost justify any evil in the world. You say, but it is wrong because my parents taught. Look, apartheid parents in South Africa taught their children it was right. Does that make it right? Racism in the United States. For many years, many parents taught their children it was okay to be a racist. Does that make it right? You say, no, but their parents taught them that. Almost every Nazi parent taught their child that the killing of 6 million Jewish people was right. Nothing is morally right or wrong because your parents taught you. Why is lying wrong? What is it that will help us to distinguish not only between what is right and what is wrong, but why things are right and why things are wrong? When I ask people, do you believe lying is wrong? One of the top 5 answers I get, yes, and I'll say why. Because of the consequences. It hurts people. Why are things right and why are things wrong? Boy, that's a big question in today's culture. And I can tell you this, if you don't have a deep conviction, understanding, not just what is right or what is wrong, but why, when you come up in a crisis in your life, you will almost always choose the wrong way if you don't have convictions and understanding. Now, a lot of people say, well, lying is wrong. Why? Because the way I feel. They believe their feelings determine what is right and what is wrong. Absolutely nothing is morally right or morally wrong because of your feelings at that moment. You have to realize feelings come and go. They change with circumstances. Does that mean that this is right at this time, wrong at this time, right at this time? Killing is wrong now, killing is right then? Your feelings will come and go, but in no way do they determine what is right or what is wrong. Maybe you just had a bad hair day, or you have an upset stomach and you don't feel very well, so something looks like it might not be right. We've looked at various reasons that people have given why things are right and why things are wrong. And we've been centered mainly on the question, is lying wrong? If so, why is it wrong? And we've seen 5, 6 different responses of people. Now it's come down to this, where people say, because the Bible says so. Absolutely not. Nothing is morally right or wrong because the Bible says it. But rather the Bible says that it's wrong because it is wrong, but it's not wrong because the Bible says it. Then why is lying wrong? For this reason. And folks, it's no small issue. This is a major issue. Why is lying wrong? Because the person and character and nature of God is truth. Jesus said, I am the truth. And anything contrary to the person and character and nature of God is false. Lying is not wrong because the Bible says thou shalt not lie. But the Bible says thou shalt not lie because lying is wrong. Why? Because God in his very nature is truth. The very foundation of why things are right and why things are wrong are personal, in the personal character and nature of God. Lying is wrong because God is truth. These things are not right or wrong because your parents taught you, or because of your church, or because of the consequences, or because it's legal or illegal, or because the Bible says thou shalt not. But rather, lying is wrong because of the person and character and nature of God. For example, why is injustice wrong? Yeah, because God is just. Not because your parents taught you to act justly, but because the person and character and nature of God is just. Unrighteousness is wrong because God is righteous. Impurity is wrong. Why? Because your parents taught you it's wrong, your church? No, because the person, character, and nature of God is pure. Now, it's critical to understand these are not right or wrong because of the Bible, because you're a parent, your church, whatever, but because of the nature. Why is lying wrong? Not because the Bible says it, not because your parents taught you, not because your church teaches lying is wrong, not because the consequences that somebody could be hurt if you lied, but rather lying is wrong because it's contrary to the person and character and nature of God. Please understand this principle. Lying is not wrong because the Bible says thou shalt not lie, But the Bible says thou shalt not lie because lying is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because of the person and character and nature of God. Now, lying is wrong because God is truth. Jesus said, I am the truth. Injustice is wrong because God is just. Why is killing wrong? Most people say to me, because the Bible says thou shalt not kill. And I say, no, killing is not wrong because the Bible says thou shalt not kill. But the Bible says thou shalt not kill because killing is wrong, but it's not wrong because the Bible says it. It's wrong because the person and character and nature of God is life. Jesus not only said, I am the truth, he said, I am the life. And it says God created life in his image and said, it is good. Lying is wrong because God is truth. Killing is wrong because God is life. Injustice is wrong because God is just. Now, think it through. Why is hatred wrong? You got it. Because God is love. The person and character and nature of God is love. Purity is right. Why? Because God is pure. It coincides with the person and character and nature of God. Now, how can we process this out in daily life? Let me give you a very simple 4-step process. First, you're faced with a decision. Consider the decision. Consider the choice. Number 2, compare it to God. Number 3, and this is where most people fail, commit to God's way. So you must make that decision to commit to God's way. And then 4th, count